Time to put everything on the line. I love that line, by the way. So, repeat after me. This is the moment. This is the moment. Oh, God, that was weak. Repeat after me. This is the moment. This is the moment. This is the hour. This is the hour. Time to put everything on the line. Time to put everything on the line. So, I don't know about you. What? So what? So, I don't know about you, but I really am in that space in my life where I am absolutely ready to put everything on the line. I am absolutely ready for this to be the moment, and that to be the moment, and the next moment, and the next moment, and the next moment. And I am tired of letting anything get in the way. Yes? Yes. Everybody else feel that way? Yes. Don't you feel it's time? Yes. It's absolutely time. Okay. So this month is Remember Who You Are month, okay? It's time to put everything on the line and remember who you are. Now, putting it on the line, I wanted to find out, where did that come from? Does anybody know where that came from? I'll tell you. So where that came from, it's a military reference. I know. There was another reference, but it was sexual. I didn't want to go there. So I think that came after the military reference. So the military reference was when you take all of your soldiers, you got it? You take all of your ammunition, everything, and you just put it right on the front line, and then you wait and make sure that it holds. So are you ready to take all of your spiritual ammunition, all of the mental muscle soldiers in your mind, put them on the line right there and say, know the truth? No? Then let me finish talking. Right. So the question has to be, are you ready to know who you are and have it hold? Because, good, okay, the front row's doing well. So what I have experienced as a minister is, and I have so many students that I love teaching. You all know that. I love teaching. Who I am, when I show up in a classroom, I am like bouncing off those walls. I'm so excited about what I'm teaching. And what I get is a lot of students that say to me, okay, I do get it. And I'm bouncing off the walls with you. And then I leave and I drive home. And somewhere between bouncing and home, I'm like, what did he say? And why do I feel like this again? So the question has to be, are we ready? Because it's a decision, folks. That's all it is. It's a decision. Are you ready to know what you know and hold it? Hold it there. Put it on the line. Yes? Yes. Okay. So, I'm going to ask you now the most important question you will ever ask. And when you look this up, it's a question. It says, the most important question one can ever ask. And it's this: who am I? The most important question you can ever ask yourself is, who am I? Now, the thing is, when we say who am I, there are logical answers that come into play. Yes? As soon as someone says to you, oh, so who are you? What's the first thing you say? Your name. And you didn't even make it up. Someone gave you that name. Did you come into the world at 1 minute old and say, I will be Horace Vandergelder? I didn't say that was a Broadway reference, did I? So no. So the first thing you do is you say your name, right? And the second thing most people do is like, what do you think the second thing is? Your occupation. Exactly. Hi, I'm James Mellon. I'm a minister and an actor and a director, producer, choreographer. I write. I'm a father. There's so many things I can say to that, but mostly I say, I'm James Mellon. Actually, I'm Reverend James Mellon. And the Reverend, I actually earned the Reverend. I put the Reverend there on purpose. So what have you put on purpose into your name and into your occupation? Are you living an occupation that you purposefully chose? Because it really does, yes, because it really does express who you are. So there you are, your name, your occupation. What do you think is the third thing you mostly hear? What was that? Where you're from. Oh, that's good. I didn't think of that one. Where you're from. I don't ever go there. I don't tell too many people I'm from Philly, until later I get to know them better. No, your age. I know, and the women are like, I never tell people my age. But I do. I'm Reverend James Mellon. I'm a minister. Oh, I'm 59. And that's just so that they can go, what? That's impossible. So, it's true. It's true. And then what do you think one of the next things is you say? Yes! You guys are smart. This is a good room. This is a good room to play today. Yes, your relationship status. How many of you say I'm married? Even when you're not, so that you don't have to go out with this person. Right? So you're next to it. So my name, what I do, my age, whether I'm married or not, my relationship status, right? And then for those of us that are married, you probably say, oh, and I have 2 children. How many parents do that all the time? I have 2 children. We totally identify with that. So, but the question is, have I just told you who I am, really? Have I told you who I am? No, I haven't, have I? I haven't told you who I am, and yet, most of us, that's the extent of the conversation. I think I know you because I know your name, and I know what you do, and I know how old you are, because I see your forms. I know how old you are. I know if you're married. I know Brad has a beautiful daughter, Hannah. I know who you are because I know all of those things. But do I know who you are? Do people on this planet walk around really knowing who everyone is? And in fact, do we think we don't know someone because we don't know that stuff? So all of a sudden, there are strangers in the world, aren't there? And yet there really aren't. An occupation. Is what I do who I am? Is how old I am who I am? Oh, God, I hope not. Right? If I'm 98, I don't want to be relegated to what a 98-year-old is supposed to look like. By the way, I should say hi to Jim and Jack. I know you're not 98, but Jim and Jack watch every Sunday, and I really want to say hi today to everybody. Say hi, Jack. Yes, so, yeah. And Jack is 93. Yes, 93. He's probably sitting there, no, why does he tell them my age? Why does he do that? Okay. And we love you, yes, okay. And you look good, looking good. So, does the person I'm with tell you who I am? Now, here's the thing about that. Do my children tell you who I am? All of these things kind of reflect on me, don't they? The person who you align yourself with reflects with who you are because you've actually chosen to be with that person. The children you raise reflect on you in some manner, but that's not necessarily who you are. So, how many times when someone has asked you, hi, who are you? How many times have you said, well, I'm God? Johnny, I know you say that, yes. And they still haven't carted you off, have they? No.
Tell them I'm an infinite potential disguised as a human.
And they still haven't carted you off. That's really good. So the answer, I am God, is really not as crazy as it sounds. I mean, I literally believe that if we actually knew that we were God, we would answer all of those earlier questions with a different type of energy. And maybe even we would refuse to involve ourselves in the conversation that is so static as to talking about our careers and our relationships and our age at such nauseating familiarity that we actually might break through that bubble and start talking about who we really are, and then actually seeing each other for who we really are. Ernest Holmes said this, and I read this a few weeks ago. Man is an identity in the universe, a center of God consciousness. He says, man already has within himself, and it's herself too, of course, the key to freedom, but he must come to realize his relationship to the whole. That relationship is one of complete unity. So, according to what Ernest Holmes just wrote, when you ask me who I am, I should very confidently be able to say, I am all of it. Like Reverend Suzanne, I did it again, like Suzanne said. The ocean and the wave. We are way too familiar with, and we are way too comfortable with being the wave. But the wave, as I showed you a few weeks ago, the wave is nothing if you take it out of the ocean. It's just a jar of water sitting on my windowsill again. Still, yes, I got a new wave, though. Just to prove to me when I do it the second time, it still is nothing now but the possibility, the pure potentiality of being the ocean. You and I, we are the pure potentiality of being all of it, but I fear that we are still kind of in a jar on a shelf pretending to be the wave. So when we're asked, who are you? Who are you? Who am I? I'm all of it. That has to be the answer. And yet, I don't believe we're comfortable there yet. I really don't. So our relationship has to be one, he says, of complete unity. And here's the deal. Here's what I'm really here to tell you today. I think we tend to answer the question, who are you, with a very low ceiling. I really do. And I think it's time for us to set the new paradigm in motion. I think it's time for us to set the way for everyone on this planet to start answering the question, who are you, from a bigger place. I'm not just this individual expression of God. I'm all of it. I am all of God, and so are you. Because when I say I'm all of God and so are you, I'm remembering not only who I am, I'm remembering who you are. And if I remember who I am and I remember who you are, then my relationship to you has to change. Change. I was going to say shift, and I said change, so I said change. My relationship to you has to shift and change when I remember who I am and I remember who you are. What do you think the planet would be like if everyone walked around knowing that they are all of it and so is everyone else? No competition, no fear, no mistrust. We all get who we are. Yes? That's world peace. That's global world peace. That's the start of understanding how to live in this world. I am all of it. And so now I'm going to go back to Robin's lyrics. So it's interesting that you started this, that this was a reaction to you having one of those moments where you're feeling less than, right? Yeah, okay. So here's what comes forward. So spirit, the allness, comes forth to the individual with this, when we dare say to it, and I loved what you said, when we dare do the sacrilege of telling God it is less than itself. You know, someone wrote on the blog this morning in CPR, they said, I don't think anyone ever said to God, how dare you say that you're God? Think about that. Can you imagine someone saying to God, who do you think you are? God? So, Robin wrote this. Robin, Spirit, God, that knowing this through Robin said, who are you? I am the answer. I am the reason. I am a believer. I am a changer. I am the master of all I see. I am the beloved. I am a lover. I am the spirit inside of you and me. How does that feel? This side of the room, not so much. This side's doing good. I look over and Paul Keith is going, what? Is that what you were just thinking?
I'm not sure.
I'm going to do this again, Paul. I am the answer. Repeat after me. I am the answer. I am the reason. I am a believer. I am a changer. I am the master of all I see. I am the beloved. I am a lover. I am the spirit inside you and me. Now, how does that feel? Doesn't it feel good? Okay, so that's right now you have just created an atmosphere around you of truth. Now, are you ready to take that entire atmosphere, all of those soldiers, and put them on the front line and say, hold it? Yes. How are you in the back row doing? Oh, really? Okay. I gotta. Okay. I'm killing myself up here, back row. Okay, thank you. Okay. So now let's say what comes from all of that. You ready? I am God. I am God. Now, how many of you still feel uncomfortable with that? Wow. Oh, okay. One jazz hand. Okay, so that's okay. That's okay. You're being honest. I'm okay. I'm good with honesty. So, what does it mean when we say I am God? It means this is the moment. It means this is the moment for us to start living as God. Not just saying I am God, but living as God. And that means, as Suzanne said, you got to pay attention to what you're thinking, what you're saying. And when something comes along, when the enemy comes along, and I mean that, when the enemy comes along and meets your front line, you better be there on the front line to let those soldiers know, here's what the truth is. And be there to point it out. Something comes up and says, no, there's lack in your life. Really? Look at that. That's the truth right there. I am divine prosperity. Something comes forward and says, wow, success is really going to be difficult in this situation. Really? Look right here. I am divine success. That's how we have to use our minds. Because it's who we are. Yes? That's who we are. And it's not just, thank you. And you know what? Here's the deal. And this is really why I'm here today. You're not the individual God. You're not just the individual God with a name and an address and a relationship and children and an age. You're not just that. You are that, but you are so much more than that. You are the entire universe. You are tapped into one with, linked to at all times, plugged in to the allness of the universe. That's who we are. And we limit ourselves. We are telling ourselves we are something less than who we truly are. So, I am the unity of all life. The one that knows what Ernest Holmes said, that oneness is the magical unity of all life. Oneness. And that's what I am. So today's talk title is called, If Not Now, How About Now? And I was going to say, if not now, when? And I was like, oh my God, no. If not now, how about now? Because, and then, of course, Robin said it perfectly. In a flash of a second, you can say, and now I'm not going to know that. And now I know the truth. Right here, right now. That's new thought. Now I'm going to have a new thought. I've had enough of those old thoughts. How many people here have had enough of the old thoughts? Enough, right? Enough. It is time. This is the moment. How about now? Yes. Yeah? How about now? Yes. And how about now? Yes. And now you got to stick with it. How about now? You know what? Children are relentless. Have you ever had a child who wanted something from you? Yes. Oh my God. And my daughter is the worst. No, she's the best at this. She is absolutely the best. She will ask me for something and I will say no in a parental, loving way. I will say no because I'll give her all the perfect reasons and she'll hear it and she'll be like, oh yeah, but can I have it anyway? Well, what about this? It's like always, how about now? How about now? And it's no, an hour later. Do you think I could have that now? How about now? How about now? How many of you have heard that from your children? How about now? What about now? Can we go now? How about now? How about now? They get what they want. In the end, you weaken, don't you? In the end, you're like, oh, just take the popsicle. Take it. Have sugar. I don't care. Here, take the sugar bowl. Right? So that's who you... Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? No! Right? So that's who you have to be in your mind. You have to be, as she said, a spiritual warrior. Putting it on the line, everything you know to be the truth, yes? Yes. And she says, and I will not be broken. I will not stand still again. I won't fall apart. This is the revolution. I will no longer compromise my life. I will no longer waste so much time because I know you are a changer. You are the master of all you see. And this is your moment. This is your hour. Time to put everything on the line. This is your moment. Whew. That's what you wrote. Are you hearing what you wrote? This is your moment. The question is, are you ready to take your moment? Oh, I love that. Doug just went, oh. What did you do?
I was like, ah.
Okay, did anybody else go? Oh. Good, no, good. We got you where we need you. All of us in the atmosphere of being on the line, yes? But you got to take it. It doesn't just come to you. You have to take it. And Ernest Holmes, when he says take it, it means you have to mentally take it up here. You have to be equal to it up here. You cannot entertain thoughts in your mind of failure if you want success. You cannot entertain thoughts in your mind of lack if you want prosperity. You cannot entertain thoughts of disease if you want health. You just cannot. That is letting every enemy through the front line. That's how vigilant we have to be with our minds. So, that's how it works. Start thinking of yourself as bigger than just you. You are not just you. You are all of it. You are all of it. You are the unity of all life. You are bigger than anything that could possibly stand before you. You are the stars. You are the planets. You are the trees. You are the ocean. You are the air. You are the atmosphere. You are all of it. You are everything you could possibly imagine right here, right now. Already realize, get it out of your head that you are working towards something. Your entire life will be going like this. You will be working towards your success. I'm working towards my financial security. I'm working towards my health. You know what? It's not a comfortable position. Right? This is comfortable. I am. And what you put after I am is going to be the realizing moment of your life. Whatever you say after I am is going to be exactly what you decide to manifest. So I'm going to say I am God. And I'm going to remember who I am every single minute of this entire month. How about you? Yes. Then repeat after me. I am God. I am God. And so it is. Namaste. Okay.